Good evening. How are you all doing? So happy to see you. Jokes. Um, so today's flow will be we get into some practice. Some of this practice, I'm really hoping you will be able to relate. Some might not be really applicable to you in this very moment, but as your knowledge bank, this understanding should be very complete. Even if you are approaching perimenopause, you need to understand the entire journey, what you went through as a womanhood and your cyclic lifespan, where Ayurveda steps in, how yoga supports Ayurveda, and all that complexity. And then I will take you back to the theoretical part, where I think I will be able to help you to connect some dots and to tell you certain things which are kind of like reading between the lines of what yoga is telling you to do, what Ayurveda is telling you to do. You have to understand the why. Once you establish yourself in understanding that why you have to do this, tomorrow you can walk out and share this information with your niece, with your friend, with anybody else. You will buy the concept. But if I'm only going to tell you what you should do, just like, you know, we mentioned to you earlier, do the massage. It's good. But you have to really understand why and why you're using what kind of oil, their inherent property, as in what kind of prana they carry, what kind of essence they're going to bring in your life. All this aspect has to be very clearly understood as we going to move forward today. Okay. Now, today's topic, if you have looked into the 6 sessions, is we should talk about the diet plan and the food habits that you might need to adapt during the different period of the month. Okay. And the disclaimer is I am very ready to work with each and every one of you, whoever is going to listen to this recording later on also, uh, and to reach out to the more precise way for you to reach to your diet plan. Because understand the fundamental of Ayurveda is it is not one size fits all. Even if I'm going to tell you that if you are a Vata person, go for this. If you are a Kapha person, go for this and that. It is only kind of a pointing finger uh, towards a path where you have to make more refined decisions about what and how and when you need to apply to those things. Okay. And a quick thing, please do remind me before the end of the session that I should and I must tell you few pressure points that you need to give, that you can massage, especially if you're having any irregular menstruation or you experience cramps during those days, and also to bring more nourishment and essence into your lower abdominal organ, all the feminine organs. And this is applicable also towards anybody who might be already well established in menopause. So please do understand one fundamental thing. Uh, you don't become any less of a woman post menopause. You are the same person, just you have graduated from a hormonal chapter of your life. Okay? So when you know this, life becomes easy because there is this lot many times when I'm working one-on-one with people, with wonderful women, they say, "Oh, you know what? Menopause seems like a dead end, and that's the end of the story. I am pretty much gonna uh, renounce my womanhood." Okay, everything will happen in your life. you are still going to remain beautiful. You are going to remain vibrant. Your beauty will become way much more profound and will go deeper than the depth of your skin or the texture of your skin. Um, every other aspect, including your very intimate life, your sexual behavior, will continue and will have to go through a certain amount of modulation, of course, but they will continue. And that's the beauty. Yeah? So nothing is going to be like sidetracked. That's the good news. Now, thumb rule. Remember, we if you will remember, in the first session, we spoke about sutras, which is the channels. And I said there are 13 main channels, and the woman has one more extra, which is the channel for the menstruation. Now, there is one thing that you have to know, and you already know this. When you are looking, uh, when you are in a very loose language, when you are referring to a woman, you normally don't say, wow, that woman or that lady looks so cool. You know that? At least among the guys, we rarely use that word, that woman looks cool. We use the opposite word. We say the lady looks, oh my God, she's so hot, right? And then on your date night, most likely you're not wearing a white gown. No, that's a different story. You're not putting on a white dress. You're putting yourself into a red, vibrant, the, and then you put those Jimmy Choos and then fabulous. But everything is vibrant red and all that. Why red? That's the color of fertility. During the new year in China, everything turns red. Like the red is the color of fertility. In India, or even in the yoga classes, when you are practicing any meditation which has its origin in Tantra, you come to the class and I ask you, visualize a red inverted triangle. Not because the red is my favorite color or I have some uh, closeness with red, but the red represents feminine energy because red is the blood. That blood you contribute in making a baby. In the baby making process, what the male offers is a cold fluid. That's it. And then it is Tepu Papa. That's all I can give it to you. The rest, whatever you want. And then what the woman does is she puts on hot blood to that whole process. And in few months, the living soul pops out and the wonder has been created. Right? Asha Fache. So that process is controlled by the hotness. A woman in nature, they carry the heat. Now, coming straight into the practice. Now, as we are gonna get into the practice, into the yoga, everything that you do is about managing Agni, fire, your relationship with fire, and how to kindle that. All the stages of womanhood is very important. So the 4 weeks is important. Then, as you enter into the perimenopause, as you enter into the menopause, a good part of your ritual is to learn how you deal with fire. And now, those of you went to the forest or the camping and you have made a campfire, you know the fire or the building of the fire and the maintenance of the fire is not just how much wood I am putting into the fire or how much gasoline I'm putting into the fire. It has to lot to do with the how wind is blowing. Whether if there is too much of wind, the fire might not, catch. If the wood is too wet, there will be a problem. So on and so forth. And each one of you have a specific kind of wood, living in a specific kind of environment, and that's where individualized approach will be absolutely needed. Okay, I stop talking. Now we get into the practice. So please do get ready into the practice. And this will be a journey, hopefully, for you to understand where you stand. So this is not a standardized practice that you should be doing, neither precisely during your menstruation or into any other phase of your life. Now, once said that, today happens to be a full moon. Yeah. And some of you might be highly influenced by the lunar, the moon. You might not be lunatic, but l- the moon will have its impact in your life, in my life as well, but it will have more impact in your life. Now, one thumb rule as you get into the practice, if you to check if your womanhood is in a very well balanced or not, check one thing. If your menstruation is around the full moon and new moon, keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be today's full moon, so my menstruation should start. No, I'm not saying that. Or today's new moon, it should start, but it should be in a 2 3 days plus minus in that bandwidth. That's a good sign. That means your inner clock, lunar clock, is aligned with the cycle. Be there. Once said that, please invite yourself in a very comfortable posture because we will do some mishkare. Golden rule: every movement is an invitation to find stillness within. Every posture is an invitation for you to identify where the fire is burning, where the heat is reaching out, where it is not. Okay? So today we are not doing our typical Satyananda Yoga class, Shanti mantras, Hai Fachem Cheva. No, that is not the approach we are taking right now. Once said that, please invite yourself into a comfortable cross-legged posture or any other meditative posture that you think you can maintain for several minutes without the need to move your body. Once you settle to the posture, the first thing you try to pay attention to is to what extent can I experience calmness? Anything that you consider as an anti-calmness is, and most likely is the contribution of aggravated fire or an absolute of fire. Now, as you're checking your body, my invitation to you is to check to what extent you feel grounded, connected. Pay attention. If you're grounded or if you're undergrounded, or in more simpler words, is do I feel morbid, depressed? I just can't feel my body. I'm so tired, exhausted, depleted. Where do I stand? And bring your awareness following that to in which phase of moon cycle am I? Am I a graduate student or am I experiencing the fluctuation and the adventure of a perimenopause? Or am I going through a smooth cycle of menstruation, ovulation, follicular stage? Where do I stand? And then, irrespective of whichever stage you are in, I invite you to become aware of the divinity that is present within you. Through this body, I can or I had the possibility to bring a life into this earth. Whether I'm a mother or not, that is secondary. Whether I want to have a kid or not, that is secondary. Whether I have a baby or not, that's secondary. But as a woman, you have that potential in you. Connect with that aspect and observe when you feel that closeness with this energy of cosmic mother. Where do you feel it within your body? And shift your awareness to the breath and feel the breathing within your spinal passage. When you are inhaling, the prana is moving up from the base of your body to the center of your body, the pranic channel, through the spine, up to your head. As you breathe out, this energy is flowing back at the base of your body to the Muladhara chakra, the root center. And every time as this energy is rising up through your spine, it's blessing you with various qualities, attributes. At the root, it makes you safe. As it moves right behind the pubic bone, it gives you self identity, the permission to enjoy life, to create a self identity, to leave your signature in this cosmic canvas. As it moves up to the solar plexus, it connects you with the power of love, the power of compassion, the power of fluidity, the power of warmthness. And this energy moves up to the heart center, giving you the feeling of oneness, to feel, to become empathic. And henceforth, as this energy moves up, it gives you the voice of creativity, where you express yourself, whether it's through your startup, or through your poetry, or through your Instagram page, or through your art, or through your hairstyle, or through your yoga class. It gives you the voice. And as this energy moves further up to the eyebrow center, here you reach to that culmination of womanhood where you know your intuitive abilities. Intuition here is a non sensorial understanding of the invisible world. Your sight takes the form of insight, deeper inner understanding. And finally, when the energy moves to the Sahasrara, There you experience transcendental presence, absolute oneness with the tattvas, all the elements that are present in this universe. Now, as you breathe up and down this channel, you will find your home at any particular center. You will feel it. It's not about thinking. There is no hierarchy. All are absolutely blissful place to reside. When you connect with your home, bring in the image of the ultimate feminine energy. Could be the image of your mother, grandmother, your role model, and focusing on this image, chant along with me the mantra Om for 3 times, and then we will be chanting the short Shanti mantras. Take a deep breath in. Om. 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 Om Shanti 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 Hare Om. Chant with me the mantra to invoke Devi. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, Matrirupena Samastita, Matrirupena Samastita, Namastasai Namastasai, Namastasai Namo Namaha, Namastasai Namastasai, Namastasai Namo Namaha. 2 more times. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, Matrirupena Samastita, Matrirupena Samastita, Namastasai Namastasai, Namastasai Namo Namaha, Namastasai Namastasai, Namastasai Namo Namaha. It means, O Goddess, which is present in every single element, is residing in the form of the cosmic mother. I adore you. I adore you. I adore you. We will be chanting the mantra all together once. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, मातृरूपेण समस्तता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. Bring your palms together, rub your palms, and once they're warm, cover your closed eyes and open your eyes, hands down. Now, if you are part of our community and you keep on coming to our classes, you are most likely familiar with the statement I have often quoted that Swami Satyananda used to say, a woman's health is proportional to how healthy is her Swadhisthana chakra, the second chakra. If the second chakra is healthy, the woman is absolutely fit and fine. Now, many people understood this as a second chakra, it is related to the pleasure and self-identity. So if the woman has got a vibrant sexual life, she will be very balanced and happy. It's not quite the case. The word Swadhisthana, the word Swa means self, and Adhishtan means where you reside. Your awareness is supposed to be in this chakra, but it has dropped down to Muladhara, to the roots. It has went underground. So for many women, the journey is basically to come out from the underground to the surface of Swadhisthana. Now, irrespective of where you stand in the phase of womanhood, your practice should contribute or should hold multiple posture that is related to this chakra. The intensity of the practice or the intensity of the asana will be decided where you stand. Now, let's say hypothetically, today, if you are in between your menstruation, especially on the not on the first day, second or third day, you might not be able to do too much of pressure in your abdomen. But some of these postures that we're going to do today, you will be able to manage. First posture, I would suggest you to come on your abdomen and be on your abdomen in the Sphinx pose. And I know for some of you, Sphinx pose is not super comfortable because of some other back condition. So be gentle. You don't have to really try to push your head too high, but you keep your hands parallel and you lift your head slightly up. Roxana, if you need a visual reference, look into the screen with the Tamara Nishtar where the camera is on, and there you can see Liane. She's doing a beautiful demonstration. She's visible, and you can watch her. Good. So head held high. Corina, elbows slightly more in the front, I think. Good. Heels are touching together. And you're dealing with something that you start paying attention right now. The second energy center is regulating water. Till now, I was telling you that the woman body is fire, 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 but now the practice is going in the water. Why? Because with the water, you control the intensity of the fire, right? You don't want to flood the space where the fire is burning. So pay attention to the lower back, breathe, feel the pelvic floor from within and the pressure that it is creating on the mat. Now, if you're in the menstruation phase, you are not going to put any form of strain into the body. But what will you do? You will pay attention to the movement of energy in the lower abdomen, and the purpose of the posture is to find grounding and surrender. Now, with the following exhalation, bring your forehead down and you stretch your hands in the front. Stretch the arms as much as you can in the front, and you feel the forehead on the mat. So, in this phase of yoga practice, or when you're menstruating and you are doing your yoga practice, the two words act as mantra. The one is awareness of everything that is happening within the body. Two is surrender. Can I relax my shoulder blade? Can I relax my back? Can I surrender and loosen up my hips, my legs? Can I hold the awareness of my breath? And release the posture and you turn on your back. Now, please note, even if you're an Ashtanga yogi and you participate in ultra marathon, I will still invite you that during your menstruation, you slow down and you practice slow, mindful yoga. Just because this will help you to respect the energy of the earth, the kapha element, and will not aggravate the vata, the air element. Now, fold your left leg, bring the left heel close to the hip. Good. Lumi, listen, understand, then do. Left foot on the floor. Good. Foot, talpa. Nujedung. Asha. Now, fold your right leg. Interlock the fingers under the thigh. Good. Pull your knee close to the body more, and you stretch your leg up in the air. Okay. Christina, Corina, you are doing it wrong. Not stun. Please, please lift yourself up, go to the screen and pin the screen with Tamara Nishtor so you know what to be done. Good. And from here, you fold the knee again close to the rib cage, and you stretch the leg up in the air. Slow, graceful movement. You can even stop stretching the leg completely. Very good. Continue doing this 6 more repetition. And be mindful of the energy circulation taking place within your body. Once you have completed 6 repetition, lower both the legs, outstretch both the legs, come into Savasana. Now remember that during the menstruation, the energy is flowing out of your body. So what we would like to do is, every time when you are resting, you visualize the chi, the prana is flowing in through the feet and concentrating at your abdominal space. So in this case, you visualize that you are inhaling through your right foot and the breath is accumulating at your lower abdomen. Like this, you take 6 mindful breaths. Visualization is only one way. You are not doing prana shuddhi, moving the breath up and down through the leg. Now, fold your right leg, right foot on the mat, heel close to the hip, and you fold your left leg and you interlock the fingers underneath the left thigh. Pull the knee close to the rib cage. Inhale, stretch the leg up. Fold, bring the knee close to the rib cage. Roxana, knee, you're folding your leg, yeah. And you stretch the leg up towards the ceiling. Remember, this is kapha phase. We are not forcing the body. This is not the time to get stretchy. Continue 6 more repetition. And by the way, this particular posture with the passive leg kept folded will work fantastic for those who has back pain. And during this period, especially those of you who are having a high flow, might feel a certain amount of exertion, discomfort in the back. So it will be good for you to do this practice in the lying position on your back. 6 repetition, and then you will rest. When you rest, you return back to the visualization. Inhale with and through your left foot. Breath accumulates at the lower abdomen, and you release. Like a straw, you are pulling the prana up until you're breathing out, releasing, relaxing. Good. Now, fold both the legs, heels close to the hips. Take your hands a little away from the body with the palms turned upside. Keep the arms soft. It's a very passive practice. The left leg remains still and steady, and you softly drop the right knee down on the mat on the right side. You're doing half butterfly. Gentle movement. One up, one down. Very slow movement, okay? Now, as you are going to do this, pay attention to the lower abdominal space. Remember, right now, if you're during the phase of menstruation, your apana vayu is overly active. You are eliminating. There will be a feeling of heaviness and drainage in the body. And in this work, physiologically, the energy from the kidney is flowing down because kidney is the boss of water management, fluid management. So when you're doing this half butterfly, you are not doing it with the mindset, can I make my pelvic joint more flexible? Rather, you don't want the energy to be static and stagnant and it to nicely distribute in the lower back area. Now, next time you lift your knee up, keep them there, and you softly drop the left knee outward. And you continue the practice for the similar number of times. Remember, the mantra is awareness and surrender. Once you have finished the equal number of times, lift both the knees up, keep them there static for a while, feel the lower back resting on the mat, the lower abdomen, and you stretch your legs back on the mat. Corina, legs back on the mat. Saltea. Gosh. Okay. Now, all those people who are like Kung Fu Ninja, when I ask you after doing this posture, take your legs back. You don't have to strain your abdomen by raising both the legs up in the air and then in a slow motion, landing your legs on the mat. It is counterintuitive because you have just created an extra tension in your abdomen. Meaning, so what you will do when we say take your legs back on the mat, you will simply slide your both the feet. And yes, it might not look very yogic, might not look very photogenic, but at least you are respectful towards yourself. Now, once said that, when you breathe in, you inhale through both the feet, allow the energy to accumulate at lower abdomen. Now, this is like a counter pose for excessive apana vayu movement. 'Turn to any one side and come for cat stretch. Now, cat stretch is the posture that you all carry in your back pocket. If you're a woman, you do cat stretch. This is good for you. This will keep your spine supple and you will remain healthy energetically for many, many years ahead. So, how is the cat stretch happening? If you're sitting on your hip bones right now with your hips on your heels, you will stretch your arms up. As you will breathe out, you will bend forward without raising your hips. Good. Now, let's try doing this, the variation you will do during your menstruation. Go back to the Vajrasana. Okay. Now, imagine, because I know this will not come naturally. Imagine when you are having a quite strong discomfort and uneasiness in your abdomen. You will not raise your arms up and drop. Okay? You will what you will do, you will leave your hands on your thighs, and then the hands will slide from your knees to the mat in the front of the yoga mat, by the way, and you will slide your hands in the front till your forehead is touching the mat. Bravo. Now, wherever your palms are, keep them there, and you lift your hips up. Good. Now, this is the Draga Draga version, remember. Okay, so don't do Kung Fu. Now, lift your head up with the inhalation, curve your spine, breathe out, drop your head, and hunch your back. Continue doing the practice. Now, who is deciding how much you should bend? It is the abdominal, lower abdominal contraction. What you are sensing there, that should be the indicator. You see, I can only talk from theoretical knowledge. You have the experience. I have only second-hand knowledge of this. So how much you want to push, you decide. But remember that this is not the time to feed your pitta, the fire element. You know, I can do more, I can do better. Let me go to the gym. Oh my God, I'm getting rusted just by taking a pause for 4 days from the workout. And I know for some of you, this might be how your software will operate, but that is not the feature. It's the bug, it's the virus. Now, no, not forcing yourself to the posture, do couple more rounds. And from here, you will come to the child pose or the rabbit pose, whatever works best for you. Meaning you will bring your hips back on the mat. Believe it or not, this much of practice during your menstruation should be enough. You don't need to do more. At the physical level, forehead is resting. You can happily spread your knees apart. Roxana, that's way too much, maybe. Maybe. The spreading of the knee, it's not necessary. If you feel comfortable, do it, but not too much. Okay. You can mentally think right now, come on, that's easy for me. Why are you interfering? But I'm trying to keep all of you within the state of kapha. The another name of kapha, or with kapha, we very easily associate inertia. Inertia is the tamasic nature, where we don't want to do, we want to just stay static. Now, tamas, when it is under the influence of really tamasic tamas, then there is absolute darkness and there is ignorance, there is mental behavior of paranoia, anxiety, and you have all the phobias. But I'm hoping you all are in a sattvic state of tamas, meaning your tamas is pure. You have purity in your inertia, meaning where you understand, na bine draga, I am not feeling well today, so I will take it easy. No están, Asha? Good. This is how you do. You feel the body that, okay, let me not push myself too much, and you rest. You're not competing with yourself. You're not saying, let me push it a little bit more. Let's see what happens. So no adventure here. Now, imagine that you have already stayed 5-7 minutes. That's the amount of time you can do in this stage. Then you lift yourself up and you settle yourself in a comfortable posture. And also note that you are in this during the period of menstruation, you are very, very sensitive. Actually, I told you that woman by nature, you're very porous. You do have a fantastic ability to absorb, and now you are even more porous. That's why what yoga you do is not only happening on the yoga mat. The yoga you need to do, the ayurveda that you need to bring in your life. What is ayurveda? Let's remember, it's a science of well-being. So that as the act of well-being, you create certain amount of seclusion. minimize interaction with people, being in the crowded place. Uh, don't walk through the shopping mall and do your shopping, and not because that you are not capable of doing it. You are very much, but why to expose yourself into such a complex range of energies when you are ready to absorb them, when you can absorb those energies? So you remain slightly secluded. And you can notice that during this period, the pranayama practice that will be given to you will be ujjayi, because you're super sensitive to your inner dimension. If you practice a substantial volume of meditation during your menstruation, your meditation will improve because now you are in contact. You're by nature, you are in, and you're practicing letting go. You're emptying yourself. So, what do you practice as a pranayama technique? A soft ujjayi breathing, meaning that that wheezing sound that we do in the ujjayi, that will fade out. It's a very soft breathing sound, like when you hear almost a newborn baby sleeping, and you go close to the karutsa, and you hear that the baby is breathing very soft. Or a kitten sleeping, you hear that purr sound, that one. So very soft, and with a lot of draga, draga. I love myself. I'm in contact with myself. You close your eyes, contract your throat, and you breathe. Try it. Continue to keep your eyes closed. Now you do another breathing technique. You inhale mentally 5 times in and out only through your left nostril. Imagine that you're only breathing in and out through the left nostril. Then you breathe 5 times with your right nostril. And after that, you breathe 5 times through your both the nostrils. Whenever you complete one round of practice, watch internally how you feel, the state of your body, mind, emotion. And in your own time, you open your eyes. Make yourself comfortable. We will move into a bit of a theoretical understanding of what we have been doing till now. If you have a small screen, come close to the screen. We will go through something. We can also do a talking, but I will move quite fast before you reach your sleeping time. So here we go. What do you see?
We see your screen.
The whole screen.
Uh, with the
Just
presentation, the
after, right?
journey, yeah, the journey through moon cycle.
Okay. Is it readable?
Yeah.
Oh, good, good. Oh, hallelujah. Okay. So you see the journey through the moon cycle. Let's take a journey to the moon and back together. Now, in this wonderful, blessed life of yours, there is one word that is absent, which is monotonous. A woman can never feel monotonous because every day of your life is anew. There is no 2 days which is similar. It's a blessing and it's a curse in the same time. Definitely, it's a blessing for you, but the people around you might not understand what the hell is going on in your life and why you are different today. You went to bed quite okay and you woke up a little more crunchy and cranky and nushtuche. So, this presentation, and I'm saying this deeply from a masculine perspective, you need to heavily educate. If you have a male around you in your life, they need to understand what you're going through. Okay? No amount of Ayurveda course and listening to the presentation will make your life easier because at the end of the day, you live next to an alien who doesn't understand you. No matter how much you understand why you are an alien, why you behave like this, it's only uh, one side of the story. So, once said that, in the name of Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, we move forward. So, in this journey of moon cycle, you go through these four beautiful phases. Menstruation is menstruation. Then there is a, I'm not going to use those medical terms of follicular phase and ovulatory phase because that means very little to me. And I'm not talking to you as a medical professional here. I'll tell you what you go through energetically. You move through a renewal where after the menstruation, you slowly pick up. Then there is the vacation for a week. You're in the ovulatory phase, everything is perfect. There is Maldives and there is life is colorful, contrast, and you hear music in your ears. And then there's a very interesting phase. You like you are predicting something is going to change. You are aware of your inner nature and something will happen which will eventually merge or take uh, the beginning of the menstruation. This is what it will happen. And this is what it might happen in your life if you're not there. Now, this is pretty much what we practice today. But it is not important what we have practiced today here in this session because this is just a stamp-sized version, an example. And let me walk you through what I mean by this. What is happening? Wait. Oh. So your main thing is you have two polarities here. You have Vata, which is the air element, which is makes your mind slightly more active, whereas the body, which can be more, not can be, body will be heavy. It will be static. So you might need to drag your body to be functional. And that's where the conflict come into existence. You will experience because of the menstruation, it's an apana vayu, the downward moving energy. So everything is taking place under the belly button, uh, downward movement. Okay. Now, remember what practice we have done? We lie down, you did a very little movement, and the movement was just enough or was done with only one single intention that you may able to pull back this downward flowing apanavayu, slow it down to an extent Now, some of you might be very creative and ask me a question. Oh, then should I not do luminaria? Because that will put the Apanavayu upside down and all my Apanavayu will flow in. Of course not. You don't want the blood to backflow into your fallopian tubes. We will not do that. That is not the purpose. We just want to move the chi to an extent back because I don't want to become Kumzichero Monashta, Sutala Suta Ploshtit. I don't want to be completely drained. I want to keep some energy to me. That's the purpose. The good time of this period of the month, you practice awareness and surrender. It's a very important period. If you can practice during your menstruation, if you're still menstruating, if you can practice this, what will happen when you will step into perimenopause? And when you will be in the menopause, the principle of surrender will be your savior. You mark my word. I tell you this from my 20 plus years of experience as not being a woman, but working with a lot of women. You're still, because if you don't learn how to surrender and when you need to surrender, you will be your you will have the claws on the ground. It will happen with a lot of pain and suffering. So learn to surrender. Now, what are you going to surrender? You surrender to the cosmic energy flowing through you and you allow that thing to happen. Now, those of you who have a high Agni, you will find it very hard to stop. Come on, how can I not go to the gym today? How can I not run? How can I not take the 5 meetings? Come on, we are living in the 21st century. Even you have your povestia in your head. Deal with that, but learn to slow down. It's important. And things are moving in circle. Now back in India, you can take in the government job, you can take a day off during your menstruation, 2 days off or something like that. Every month, the government is giving you that. You can work from home or something like that, which is a very good initiative. Um, Practices, you do Pavan Muktasana 1. Now, those of you are aware of this practice. This is the practice where you do. Do you still see me? No. Oh, okay. You see this hand clenching, wrist bending. Why? This is not Apana Vayu. This is Vyam. This is your external battery. When you're depleted, automatically the energy from the arms and all this goes back to rekindle yourself. So you do Pavan Muktasana 1 to return back to yourself. Very important practice. I don't need to tell you the importance of child pose or the cat stretch. These kind of postures will keep the energy supple, the sluggishness. That is another thing that you need to be very careful of. Because of the apana vayu, you don't have too much energy in the midsection of the body and you will feel heavy. Your metabolic fire will be low. So irrespective of what's your body type and the doshas, I will recommend you eat vegetarian, warm, cooked food during this period. And with ghee, butter, clarified butter, make it nice and tasty, not very spicy. Warm, comfort food is important. Now, when I say comfort food, it's not kartaf krajit. Comfort food as in warm, nice food. And no biryani, okay, Christina? Yeah, comfort food. I know what you're thinking. I can read your mind. And so this is the thing. Pranayam practice, ujjayi, soft. In itself is a meditation. When you do properly sit down and you breathe, you come back to the body. You're offering caringness to the body. That in itself will do. Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. You don't have to do inhale one, inhale one, exhale one. This practice, 5 mental, left, 5 right, 5 both is good enough practice. Um, that will be a good enough practice. Then, now this part you have to be very careful. Yoga Nidra is a must practice during this period. But when you do the Yoga Nidra, you need to make some modifications. You should have a pillow under your leg. You should be in a warm space. You should not do Yoga Nidra after your lunch. It is prior to the lunch or in the early evening. Okay? You can even do Yoga Nidra the first thing in the morning. In fact, that will be the recommendation. You woke up, then you put your Yoga Nidra, you do the Yoga Nidra, and then you leave the bed. It will be a very good habit. Avoid doing Yoga Nidra prior to go to sleep. Yeah? You might go too deep. I don't think that will work very well for this. Now, optional will be the practice of Antarmaun meditation, which is like Vipassana. You sit back, watch. Don't involve, watch. So you are staying in the bench. You know, if your kid, they play football, you know what it is to be on the bench. You're on the reserve. You don't do involve into anything. You sit on the bench and you watch others playing. That kind of attitude you need to adapt in this period of the time. Now, these things will be highly modulated by which dosha is predominant. Sorry, which guna is predominant. There will be a natural stage of inertia. You have to be very careful in your mind. If your body type is kapha, you have more earth element, you can very easily slide into depression. All of a sudden you feel like, oh, there is no purpose in my life. What am I doing with me? Look at me. There's a lot of this thing can happen. Try in those circumstances to cut off Yoga Nidra completely, or do Yoga Nidra in standing position or being on a chair. Yeah, you can practice Yoga Nidra standing. If it's a 10 minutes Yoga Nidra, you can do Yoga Nidra standing. Okay, moving forward. Follicular things. Now, here, what's happening? You're recovering. Part of your body eliminated. The blood has flown out of the system. Now you're gaining the strength back. It's a progression. So till yesterday, I was in a medical leave. Today, I'm ninja. That should not be your attitude. There's a progression in the whole process. Don't do, and I know some of you're very fond of restorative, way soft, draga yoga. No, this is the phase you shake yourself and say, well, hold on, I'm going to move into PM2. I'm going to do the leg raise, lesser number of repetition, this thing, leg rotation, PM3 practices, all the churning of the meal. Now you're gaining energy because remember one thing, if you're in your 35 right now and you're doing this, you have got some 10-15 years and then you will enter into perimenopause. Once in menopause, then it will be very hard for you to educate your muscles to have a muscle strength and all that. Now you have time, and that also only a couple of weeks in a month. You cannot train the whole week. So in this period, you train your body to become stronger. Do sun salutation with a uh, meditative pace, but slow, not very dynamic practice. Like Tadasana, Trikonasana, all of these asana, they have a tendency to open up the rib cage. Yes, there's a expansion taking place. Pavan Muktasana 3 is what? The energy is moving up. See here, Vata dominant, upward and expanding. Don't stay in your child pose and expect your energy is moving upward and expanding. Don't overlap your mind too much. Oh, no, I need to rest. I need to rest. No, you don't need to rest. Don't confuse your laziness or your depression with this. You don't need to rest. You will rest later on. You will get your 8 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep. That should be enough. So here you speed up the thing. Now, not from the day after the menstruation. Don't move into Ardha Maschandriyasana, which is like a dynamic spinal twist or the static spinal twist. But on the second and third day, yes, you do this because this will help you to move your energy up. Kapalbhati will be another beautiful pranayam, stimulating your breath, exertion, push. This will awaken the energy. Now, all of this will need to be counterbalanced with something. Otherwise, you will have, how we say in Romanian, degetul priza. You will go too like this. Then you practice antarmaun. Learn the witnessing principle. Just take a step back and what am I going and how am I responding to this? How I initiate a fight and how I neutralize a fight and how I argue, how I criticize, how I scroll. All of that witnessing principle has to happen here. Okay? Um, Ajapa japa, optional. And avoid, I repeat loud and clear, avoid yoga nidra. For 1 week, don't do yoga nidra. You have time, journal. You have time, do the Antarmon stage 2, seated. Yeah. And if you have questions why I'm saying avoid yoga nidra, ask me when I'm not already over the time limit. Otherwise, I'm late. After the class, I will receive something from someone, you took more time. And then you go to the stage 3. This is a very radiant phase. And instead of starting up here, I want you to bring your awareness here. One of the sadhana, those of you who are regular practicing yoga with me, at least, learn the Bhairava Tantra practices, the dharanas from there. Because this is your time to really, really, really be Sutala Sutta, full-fledged woman and awaken your prana. This period will be very good to do those advanced practices. Now, if you're not here yet, then practice watching Chidakash Dharana. It is not Pratyahara, it is Dharana. So advanced practice, again, to learn to witnessing the mind, and you learn here some of the mind management techniques. Now, moving up here, remember what energy here is here? Pitta. Pitta is what? Fire. Two opposite energy, almost. Fire and earth. A part would like to be static, and a part will be saying, hi, Fachem, I want to do these things. So there will be a bit of a friction. Now, one wise soul said many years back, there is no traction without friction. But what we do here is we know how to counterbalance these two energies. We don't need too much of traction because the next moment is not going to be more wonderful than mindfully living and being present in this very moment. So try to maintain a balance. You are going to be outward, expressive, luminous. So plan your outing, your coffee date, uh, a blind date with your partner, all that in this kind of week. It will be good. The whole experience will be more meaningful. Postures that you will choose, Surya Namaskar, with mantra, Surya mantras. Not go to the Bija mantra, Surya mantras. Bija mantra will be too strong unless I'm telling you that you should do with Bija mantra. Avoid the Bija mantras. I know why I'm saying avoiding Bija mantras. They're powerful. You don't know. Are you tickling? Is it a divine or a demon? We don't know. When it will gonna wake up, you have to know how to do and what to do with the energy that will be up and awake. So yeah, careful on that. Open up your rib cage. This is a good period of the month. Doing camel pose, back bending pose. You cannot do camel. Choose other postures. You can of course do the koshulets, so that like bow pose, Back bending postures, you can do the wheel pose. Choose, but bend back, not forward bending. And again, I repeat, this is not the period to do child pose and to rest and to sleep and to be draga draga. You can choose the intensity of these postures, but no forward bending. Was I here? No. Chipper sit. Yeah. So, forward bending should be just enough to not to have an aggravated excess heat. Okay? It is not part of the sadhana. It's just like when you sprinkle some salt on the food, it is just enough for the food to be tasty. You don't make it more salty by putting several spoons of salt in the soup. So remember that. That should be the practice. If you're experiencing too much of it, you're getting too aggressive, you're too adventurous, you are compromising on resting time, you might also experience a certain amount of sleeplessness in this period. Instantly increase calming practice. What will be the calming practice? Brahmari pranayam, humming bee, albina will be good. You bring sitali and shitkari to balance the excess pitta. And that should be fantastic in this stage. Voila. Now you're preparing to return back home. So you start getting reflective. Vacation is over from the last week. You're coming back. You're slowing down. There's nothing is happening brusque, sudden. Now, in this period, there will be pitta and vata. Now, you see, you have noticed during the menstruation you had vata and kapha kind of standing in the opposite polarity. Pitta and vata is also a very complex mix. There is a fire and the wind is blowing. Huh? You have to be very careful. You don't want to burn down your house. So there is a dynamic balance that you have to maintain in this thing. And this is the moment where you invite yourself, which of the three gunas is present in you. I was just posting the other day on the Instagram reel on this. The three gunas you look at like this: inertia, where you're very tamasic; passion, full of desire, I want to do something, I want to do something; and drashta, purity. When you are pure, you are not involving, you're not rolling your sleeves and engaging. You are observing the whole thing. It happened sometime, right? You go to the office and there's a office gossip and the fight or something is happening. You don't participate. You just, okay. You detach yourself. That is purity. That is sattva. Detached presence that you practice. That's you practice here also. You need to know when you're getting too excessive in the fire. Don't fall for every temptation. Hi, Fachemasta, hi, Merjema Kolo, hi, do this and hi, do that. No, not all the adventures are meant to be, embarked upon in life for a greater well-being. You have to be very careful in this particular period. And as you are slowing down, and the aim is to slow down, you move from sun salutation to the Chandra Namaskar, the moon salutation. Slow, fluid movement. And here in this week, there's a lot of forward bending practice. Remember, initially, you will not feel doing the forward bending because you are so externally outward. So choose the forward bending by doing double angle pose, Janu Shirasana, which is the one leg forward bending posture. And then slowly, slowly you get into this deep calming Paschimottanasana. Increase the duration for a longer time. Um, Here you can do child pose, hold the child pose for substantial amount of time, not going into sleep in the child pose. Uh, in the restorative yoga, Tamara, she's teaching, she has got bolster, blanket, and she comes with a lot of material. That's a good thing to do now. You can hug the pillow and stay in the child pose for longer duration. Sorry, the hair pose. Pranayam, pay attention here. Let's go to the previous one. You see, Nadi Shodhan, inhale 1, hold 2, exhale 2. You go the previous stage. Up, where is Nadi Shodhan? 1:2 ratio. You see, there's a progression is happening in the alternate nostril breathing. Here you are 1:2, and in this phase you go 1:2, 2:1. Aha! Like now you're ninja. You're really going inside. You're holding your breath inside. You're holding your breath outside. Oh my goodness, God! You will like developing enormous amount of inner control. Why am I suggesting you this? Because my aim is not to train your body for this transition only through the Ayurveda. And I want to be very serious here. I want you to be mentally, psychologically become like a ninja and understand that different psychological stages are happening in certain progression. You know, when a person is angry, you cannot go and scream next to them or whisper next to them and say, calm down. They will not. You have to create the right ambience and environment. So this is going to be fantastic in this period to go within. I would recommend almost everybody to do this. If you haven't done this 1:2, then don't aim for this 1:2, 2:1. Then just do 1:2. Learn to enhance this ability. Yoga Nidra, only if you are having too much of emotional thing, do it, but this is optional. I'm not recommending Yoga Nidra here. You'd rather sit and practice, like do the pranayama and practice heart coherence meditation. And quite a bit of you have practiced heart coherence meditation with me. Some of you who are familiar with the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, you can find authentic, not an AI version of his meditation. If you like him, go and do the practice with him. Fantastic practice. Heart coherence is you need to awaken your heart. Awakening your heart means very simple thing. Just like you have a hard drive where you hold your files and folder, your heart holds not only the breath and the air, it holds it's an emotional hard drive. You need to expand your hard drive enough to be able to hold these energies. And that's what I'm going to suggest you to do that. By the way, uh, I'm studying now Chinese medicine, as I was telling you. In Chinese medicine, they say heart is the house of your mind. Isn't that beautiful? Thousands years back, they have said that. In Ayurveda, also, we believe that. Think through your heart, see through your heart. We have always said that this has a more higher resonance and vibration. And they knew this. So it is not a new thing that some guy sitting in Texas invented. Just giving you a side note, footnote on this. Pum pum. Okay. And now to the wonderful world of perimenopause. Perimenopause, many things can be talked, and I can tell you multiple things, but I'm giving you these as the principles, and then there are other things that you can do also. You have to remember something. This slide, you will read it by yourself, you will understand most of it. So ignore this slide. Hear me what I'm saying. Perimenopause, meaning right now you are closing a chapter in your life. You have lived your womanhood, which is an approximately 40 to 44 years of a span. This is what it used to be. Now with the modern lifestyle, that period has shrinking. And it is also gonna shrink in the years to come. It is just like the lifespan of a car or a machine. The sooner you start using it, the sooner it will get over. There used to be a time where it might be in your case or in case of your grandparents also, maybe it was there. The the menstruation is to start much later. The puberty is to happen not till even 13, 14 years. But now this thing has happening much faster, the early teens, and maybe for some even earlier than that. So when it starts early, it will finish early also. And what is the job of menstruation? When you start menstruating, in a way, your inner system is telling you that you are now ready to conceive. I know this might sound very, oh, come on, you're not saying this to a 12-year-old girl, right? I know that. But believe it or not, in some culture, in some tradition, this is what it was understood. But what is happening, even in those culture where it was kind of okayish for a woman to, for a girl to start menstruating, being in her puberty in around 12 and 13, they will wait till 15, 16, and 17. They will get married by 20, they will have kids, and so on and so forth. There are positive outcome of that as well. Not talking in terms of the physiological way, the way they will give birth to a healthy baby, the way they will, the age gap between the mother and the kid will be less. And all of these have some positive effect and also some negative effects, of course. No matter how thin you cut, there's two sides of it. Now, there's one thing that you need to understand. As a woman, many are going through this. They are reaching to the puberty early and they're delaying conception of a child if they're willing to, as much as you can. Now the 40s are becoming the new 30s, right? Because okay, no, come on, I am in the job and I want to get somewhere and da 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 da. I will see if I find the Prince Charming, which many times it's an finding an unicorn never shows up. So all of this thing happens and we are so. So as these things are happening, your factory is not saying to you, hey, listen, I see you are searching. I will go for a shutdown for a while. Call me. Wake me up when September ends. It's not like that. It's functional. And because it is functional, you are developing what? Ceased. All this PCOS, all these things that you're developing. Factory is running. Factory has to do its job and it's creating that. Huh? Be careful about all of this, multiple things. It is not only that, there's also unexpressed emotion. Many things are contributing in the how the body is transforming within oneself. So that a woman is going through in this period. Remember this. You have three organs that has to function fantastically for you to smoothly enter into the perimenopause. Your kidney, your liver, and your spleen. Kidney. What is the kidney talking about? Kidney is the boss of Swadhisthana chakra. What does the Swadhisthana chakra is doing? You have to look to the Swadhisthana chakra through the inertia, passion, and purity. Something you are not able to experience and express, there is going to be a lot of ignorance there. So I don't know. Maybe all the feeling of shame and guilt. And I do know people who are like, no, I was told sex is bad. Help me understand. The person who's saying the sex is bad and sex is forbidden, they are born out of what? They're not popped out of Mother Mary. They are outcome of unsexual intercourse. So many funny things people promote and create some kind of phobias and blockages in people's body and mind. So Swadhisthana goes through inertia, there's a blockage. Fine. Then, for some, this blockage remains for the good part of their life, and all of a sudden, in their late 30s, late 40s, even in the late 50s, they all of a sudden wake up to some, awakening. Now the energies are changing. And now guess what? There is passion. Now, what should I do? You know? And you know how things goes, like very complicated scenario. Passion is fire. But this fire, when it is go too much, it burns you down. It kind of initiates and amplifies the sliding into this uh, dryness, I would say, the excessive agni. So we need to educate wherever we stand, how much of ignorance is there, how much of passion is there, and you need to learn how to express your passion. Don't suppress. Don't suppress. Don't confuse. And this I would say to many other people also, don't confuse just because you go to a theater and you go to watch a play and you go to see an exhibition, you are supplementing or replacing actual sexual act. You need to have that in a very wild, animalic way. I mean, I can't be more brutal, more blunt. I want to be very respectful here as I talk to you guys. But get it and have it. This is the only act that is happening from the beginning of human civilization till now in the same manner. There is no AI in between. There is no modification. This is exactly the people did it a million years back. We are doing it, I think, in the same way, and this is how we will continue. So you need that to find a way to express your passion. Now, Swadhisthana is also responsible for your spiritual growth. So what happens as you are entering into this perimenopause, even your passion will have a very erratic behavior. It will have its own brain. When I want, how I want, so many funny things will happen. So here you zoom out and start observing, how am I running the show? So this observing ability has to be developed to to educate the Swadhisthana. And by doing so, you educate your kidney very well. Now, perimenopause. This is the time when you try to say a goodbye kiss to all the dulce. Anything that is sweet has to leave your system. Almost. You cannot have sweets anymore. You cannot have insulin uh, intolerance. Sorry, no. How you say? Insulin resistance. Your blood sugar should not spike up. That will only create more drama in your system. Also for male, the insulin resistance is highly responsible for all sorts of problems in our male body. Then the other thing moves up is your spleen. Spleen is the one responsible for the fire, Agni. Spleen has to be kept in a healthy state. You need fire. Remember, you are not shutting down the workshop, but you should be able to kindle the fire in a very nice, smooth manner. So be attentive that how the heat is manifesting in your life. How the heat is manifesting in your life? How do you know? And a common standard example is, oh, I'm getting hot flush. Good, but there are other ones as well. How is your how is your sleeping pattern? Do you sleep well or not? Pay attention to that. How is your irritation? How often you experience being short temper? All of these are an indication of high fire element, and you want to have a counterbalance, and you will reduce them, not to have aggressivity. The only way, sorry, one of the sure way to reduce this aggressive heat is to practice several kind of spiritual work. This is a good period to start social service. Leave for a greater cause. Leave with an understanding that your beauty is beyond your body. You are a channel. You are not the source. You getting my point? Da, nu. Yeah, yeah. So you are the channel. Remember, reminding yourself, you have to educate that. You cannot one fine morning wake up and say, you know what? I'm not the doer. I'm just a medium. Good luck with that. It might not work. So you have to go through that process. Okay. Um, Food habits. Anybody in the perimenopause, sometime you might embark into the idea. Okay, listen. Summer is coming. I need to get into shape. So what I'm gonna do? Salads and smoothies. Big no. Salads, no. Salad is not good for you. Salad in itself is a very challenging stuff to be eaten. It is okay when you're in the early years of your life, a very strong digestive fire. But when your digestive fire is low, salad is not the best thing to be eaten. So, what will you do to improve the functioning of the spleen? Note down, important thing. Go to Pharmaciate or wherever you can find and buy Goji, Goji, Goji. It's a Goji, not the seed, the liquid. And that's what I like. You can have also this thing, and you make tea with them. You boil water and you add half a cup of goji juice and you drink it like a tea. Do this for a couple of months, especially during the winter time. It will increase the stomach fire. It will not make you aggravated, but it will increase the stomach fire. Then also to balance the stomach fire. Now, this is what happens during the perimenopause time. You might experience indigestion, you might experience bloatedness. The food will not be consumed and metabolized in the same manner you were doing it in the early years of your life. So then you can add as a ritual few times a week, take warm water, put some slices of ginger, leave it for a while, like in really hot water, leave it for a while, and before you dip your feet, put some this Himalayan salt, dip your feet. If you cannot take a bath with that, it's fine. It will aggravate the thing. The more you keep your feet warm, it will improve the functioning of the kidney and the spleen. And that is essential for the woman. Up, 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 up. What else? Oh, yeah. Hmm. Tamara, I need you to come with your feet towards the camera. And I need to see your foot and the ankle. I cannot do the demonstration. So everybody do this with me. So okay, hold on. Where is this? So take this hand like this. This is the distance. And your heel, how you call that? The bone. Okay, this part. This is what? This thing.
Lesna.
Glazna, hallelujah. So this is your glazna. You place the hand from here to this amount of distance. Okay? Not the full palm, Tamara, just this amount of distance. Just put from the center of the glazna, forefinger, and at the point, you press. Circular movement, clockwise. This will activate your kidney. Sorry, this will activate your spleen, digestive fire. It will improve your metabolism.
Can you say one more time exactly?
So stay close to the camera. Forget that projector, Tamara, right now. Come with the laptop more closer. I need to see your glazner. Can you raise the foot up, the knee up? Good. Can you turn the on the side? Good. Everybody, please look at Tamara's screen, not
Okay.
skin. Lift your pant up. Can you come closer with the laptop? Your feet and the laptop. Can it be closer, Tamara, please? More. Good. Now, if you can see her heel, you can see your heel, and the heel is like a small heel. That's why we call it heel. From the center of the heel, put 4 finger distance up, up from the heel, center of the heel. Where is the center of your heel, Tamara? No, up, more up. Good. Where you are touching with your middle finger, consider that as the center point. Now put the edge of your little finger there. Exactly. A little more up. Slide your hand more up. Good. Now, all of you can see this. Please pay attention to this. Yeah. Where is her index finger ending? That point at the center of your feet. Yeah. Touch that point. Good. Now remove your the rest of the finger. Good. That one with one finger. Good. That's the point you press in a circular manner. Press, not like pickling the point. It has to be pressed. This will help the improving the functioning of your spleen, of your kidney, of your liver. It's a very, very important point. And this will also, if anybody is having any form of menstrual cramp, this will reduce it.
Avi, is it important if I take the right or the left?
You will do it on both the feet.
Okay. Hmm?
This is in foot, not outside, inside of the feet. Okay? Inner leg. Okay, Tamara, stay there, please. How you were. Okay. So again, show the feet, the ankle, roll your pants up a little more. Can you come closer, please? More. Now, listen to this instruction very carefully. Touch the center of the heel, the center point. Good. Can you see where is the center point? Yeah. Now touch where is your Achilles tendon, the back of your heel. Where is the Achilles? No, with the same index finger, remove your hand. Okay, the 1 point, center. Yeah, good. Now, the distance between the heel, the center of the heel and the Achilles is this much. Okay?
Mhm.
Pick the center point, the halfway between both. Okay. And you press. Not like that, Samara, not, I mean, I know you're showing it right now, but when you press, it's like a screwdriver. There is a force, not a force like you not puncture the Achilles, but you press it with a certain amount of force. Okay? This will improve the functioning of your Swadhisthana chakra. Meaning, loss of sexual drive, uh, any kind of thing that might be happening in the lower abdominal space, they will be improved because it is going to work with the functioning of the kidney. Okay. These 2 points. Will you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can everybody tilt their camera and show me the 2 points in their leg? and do the massage one time. How are you finding the location of the point is very important. Remember, in Ayurveda, when you are connecting with the all these marma points, everything is mathematically calculated. That's why I'm not giving 5 centimeter up there, 5 centimeter down there. No, you are deciding based on your anatomy. So let's see. Adina, where is that? Unda first. Oh, you might get a cramp. Your water element is low in the body. Show me. No, Adina, it should be a little more up, I think. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That Adina is good. Christina Stan. Okay, yeah, it's good. Corina, good. Irina. Take the measurement one more time, Irina, please. Da. Irina is okay. Liane, cum faci? Ce faci cu asta acolo? Which leg are you doing? Ah, okay. Show me. Show me, show me, show me. Now I can see you. I was confused with your leg. Da. And remove the hand. Good, good. Lumi, go back to the previous posture. Not with the thumb. Lumi, Lumi, Lumi. You're going too much into the bone. It has to be on the center line. Yeah, a little more down. One finger. Yeah, exactly. When you press, you will feel it. Iris, remove the hand. Good. A little more in the center, maybe. Yeah, perfect. Now, when you are practicing all this, all this oil massage, you do touch these pressure points. Okay, do touch these pressure points. And in the coming period, I will share with you a couple more. But for this, for the moment, this should be enough. Okay. Now, it's 9:35. Stay with me 5 minutes more. Then you go to sleep. Now, quickly understand few things. And I'm gonna circle back in the next week to this also. You have to not only, you know, control the fire by controlling the amount of air and the water and all that. That is one part of the story. And this is about the perimenopause. If you're in perimenopause and if you're in menopause, it's very, very, very important. How is your vitality, your vibrance, and the no amount of Botox, no amount of this and that will increase your essence. Get this straight. You can do those things. I'm not against the idea. Go for it. But if you want to increase your essence, you have to look at that in a very different way. You need to develop ojas through proper amount of pranayam, through proper quality of sleep, not to be overactive and overly irritated. Those things will help you to build your ojas, your vitality, your essence. Okay? Then pay attention when you are entering menopause or perimenopause. Your digestive fire is a very crucial factor that will either speed up or slow down. So you need to choose your not only your food habit, you need to really understand how you leave your uniqueness in which food you can digest, which food you cannot process. And you know this. So you might need to let go of some food that you have been loving it, and your grandmother used to cook for you and your mother used to cook for you, but right now they are not good for you. So it is time to tell them adios and to let go of those food habits. Okay? Perimenopause is a challenging period, as I understand from theoretically, is now you are at the mercy of an unpredictable lunar cycle. You cannot control what is not within your grip. So forget about trying to control this fluctuation. You can control one thing, your attitude. Meaning, when and when this appears, or every action that you take, how is your attitude? Are you driven by the inertia, the ignorance, rigidity, energy? Are you driven by excessive passion, or can you zoom out and be a witnessing principle? This you have to pay attention to. Okay. And dinacharya. Dinacharya means the constant daily rituals, which changes from season to season. Meaning, application of oil is very important. Why are you applying the oil? To hold the moisture, to hold the heat in the body. Dryness has to be avoided. You need to have enough amount of water in your system. So don't compromise, don't delay drinking enough water. Water cannot be replaced with any kind of pop-up drinks or hydro pop drinks or something like that. Okay. Um, yeah. And the last thing, I I will not try to give you advice on this. This is really the time when you need to redefine your language of intimacy, how you relate with sexuality, how you want to express it, what brings you pleasure. Things will change. Inner environment will function very differently. So you need to sit down with your loving, caring partner and talk it through. You both might need to do workshops with each other. Ce merge, ce nu merge. What is happening, what's not happening. This is a very crucial thing. Don't I don't want to put it under the carpet and just do it by yourself. No, you need to do that, because this is the raw, crude energy. If you're not having enough amount of sexual expression freely, not complying, then you are going downhill. So you decide on how you're going to work on it, but do work on that, because that will give you an enormous amount of awakening of vitality. Okay. Oh yeah, there's also one more thing. Now, if you don't have a partner, then you need to understand what storyline you have in your life. I know somebody out there says, I don't need anybody in my life. I can agree to that. Maybe the person wants to live like a monk. Fine. But you really need to believe in that. It should not be the grapes are sour, you know? So be careful on that part. Any question? I finished. Yes, say to them more. Okay.
I have a question. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a quick one. I
Yeah.
saw on the templates Antarmuna. I'm not sure I understand, or maybe I forgot what.
Antar means inner, mauna means silence. Inner silence is the form of meditation, which is very similar to or Vipassana meditation. If you want to
Yes,
know,
yes, I tried the Vipassana, but I don't know the name, the
the
Antarmuna
Antarmon
maybe.
is different. Antarmon is a more watered down and more clearly progression meditation practice. If you want to know more about it, write to me separately. We
Yeah,
definitely have somewhere recording either at the shop where you might need to pay, or there are in the YouTube channel. There's a free version of it which I can link you through.
yeah.
Let me know. I will guide you to that. I don't
Thank
remember
you.
right now from top of my head where exactly I have it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, before I log out, I would like you to ruminate over everything that I've shared to you. There might be things that I have missed sharing with you, and I might have got it completely wrong. I'm sorry for that. I only have theoretical knowledge in this chapter, in this topic on the womanhood. So, disclaimer, I'm sorry if I have said something wrong, and I would like you all to extract the essence of whatever you got from this and do share that in the written format or in a voice message and however you want in the group. Each one of you, even if something is very similar, try to write it down in your own word. Don't say, oh, I agree with what Iris wrote or I agree with what Adina wrote. No, share your thing. This will be a good revision for you, and that is the fantastic part. And I would like to know which part you connected with, which part there might be still gray zone. We still have a couple of sessions more, and we can touch those topics. If you have queries, by now you know already where we are heading towards, what I have shared. Maybe you had a different expectations from this course. I don't know. So be brutally honest and write it down in the group, including Avi, I need my money back. I'm okay with that. I will not give you, but nevertheless, you can ask. So ask, I mean, write down. This will be very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Avi.
Have a wonderful evening.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
A lot of input. A lot of
Huh?
input. Yes, I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
So
didn't. I haven't thought actually there will be this amount of input. I started talking and